All right, we got a 2011 550 XI. This is a V8. We're gonna change the spark plugs. So we got the spark plugs here, Bosch. There's a part number on these, and it gives you the torque spec. I looked it on my computer, 23 Nm, said that's 17 foot-pound. So we got our torque wrench ready. They give us a socket with it, which is perfect. And we're gonna replace all the ignition coils. So putting some ignition coil, this is the best thing you can do, ignition coil and spark plugs together. So pretty much this cover right here, already got half the car apart, but this cover, you just pull it off and it comes right off. It got two grommets, 1, 2, this baby comes right off. And after that, I took one side off because even me working on this baby for the first time, I'm gonna show you on this side. It's the same procedure on the opposite side. So pretty much you're gonna loosen this guy up right here, and once you loosen this up, you're gonna disconnect. Okay, this side doesn't have a, oh, it is a sensor down here. I thought it didn't have no wire on it, so I did disconnect that side. So pretty much there's a tab in the bottom on this one. It's upside down on this side. So don't yank on the cable. Try to grab it and try to open this guy up really easy. So pretty much you're squeezing on this tab here. What you want to also do is you want to lift up this little guy right here. So lift up this little guy, and if you got a small little screwdriver like this one, that would work better, and you should be able to do it by hand, but this tab comes off. After that, you got this little guy that you're gonna have to take apart, and this guy comes off. Very simple and easy, and this whole thing should just come off. Okay, once you do that, what you want to do is you simply want to pop open this intake. If you need to open up more, you can do so. Just open up this screw a little bit more, and pretty much what you want to do here is you want to lift up from the back, and then you should be able to pop this in the bottom one I showed you guys. This oxygen sensor cables over here. Just take them out. It's really hot up here, so be careful. The plate is really freaking hot. Okay, this plate is really hot. This little guy, okay? It's really hot. Anyways, that's out of the way. What we're gonna do next is I'm gonna show you how to replace these plugs on one of the side, and it's the same procedure on both sides. First of all, I'm going to show you guys how to take off this ignition coil. So pretty much I got this one out. It comes out pretty easy. So you just grab this little guy and you pull it and it comes out. After that, you could use a fork or something or a screwdriver to yank this open, but usually they would just come off. They do have a little bit of a force to it, but they would just come out, all of them. So what I want to do here is I am going to use my fork here to give myself a little bit of leverage. If your ignition coil break, that's fine. Okay, same thing here. And let me open up this little guy here, and this guy comes off. Very simple. And this guy comes out. So ignition coils are very simple to remove. 1, 2, 3. If you have misfire, this would be the first thing you would change on a misfire. But look at our plugs in there. We got one ignition coil over here that you are going to be scared of. But let me give you guys a small little idea. You see how to remove this screw? This is the first time I'm doing it, so it's better if you go a little bit further. Remove this little screw, loosen it, not even remove it. Okay, we're not even removing nothing here. And this housing will simply, okay, this is the retainer came out. This little housing, this will come off. Let me loosen it a bit more. And this guy should come off. It's giving me a tough time, but rubber, you know how it is, rubber grips. So it's gonna give you a little bit of space here. So over here, we got our last ignition coil, and this is the harder side. So same thing here. We're gonna use a little bit of leverage from this fuel line, because don't worry, you're not gonna bend nothing, you're not gonna break nothing. It's all good. And a little bit of leverage here. Just be careful with the wiring. You don't want to break any of the wiring. And this stuff is brittle, so sometimes these clips and retainers will snap, but that's fine. Let's get this out of the way so I can get a little bit of force on this last ignition coil. And there it is. The baby is out of the way, and the connector is bothering me. Let's push the connector. We already disconnected the connector, same way like we did all of them. So pretty much there it is. 4 ignition coils are out. Now what we're gonna do is take out all the spark plugs. Here's our handy dandy spark plug socket here. So you're gonna put this in, and this thing will go all the way deep inside, and we're gonna remove the spark plugs. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this baby counterclockwise. What I like to do is I do not like to remove them all at the same time. I like to loosen them only for now. There you go. Ooh, I hit myself over there. So if you want to add extension to this, you can do so. So I'm gonna go get a small extension to put on top of this. Okay, got my extension here, and there you go. We'll loosen up this last one, just make sure nothing falls inside the block. So this baby's loose. Okay, and then we got, this is the one is for too close to my camera, that's why I didn't want to do it yet. So this guy is, there you go, it's loose and out of the way. Okay, so what I want to do now is I am gonna keep turning these one at a time, and at the same time, okay, you know what, let's get all 4 plugs out. And the special socket, pretty much this plug is burnt out. It still had life on it, because usually I would see like a corrosion in the back, so it had a life on it, but the customer wants to change it, and he got the pieces himself. And here comes the spark plug number 2. Okay, there you go, spark plug number 2. And here's spark plug number 3. This is not the firing order that I'm stating. This is just the plugs that I'm taking them out. So I only took out 3 plugs there. So the firing order is not the numbers I'm saying. Anyway, I'm working on the last one over here. And then we're going to get our new plugs, and we're going to torque those babies. And this one's loose. There you go. There's the last plug. So I'm gonna go get 4 new plugs. So we got 4 new plugs. This is one of them, and you always want to match the length of it. Okay, make sure it's not short or too long, and you always want to check the gap. And I like to put a little bit of NACs on these, so a little bit of NACs. And then what you want to do is, I'm gonna demonstrate this. I'm gonna use the socket too, because you never want to throw a plug inside there, because it will the tip will hit, and you will lose spark, and you will misfire. So slowly and easily, this be the best way. This baby, I gotta be gentle with. So what I want to do is, I want to get this plug all the way in, and I'm gonna pull this off, and I'm gonna get another plug here. So it's the same procedure on the opposite side, which you're not gonna see me do both sides. So it's the same thing. It's actually easier on the passenger side. So here's another plug. Let's get this one in. So very easy to work on this vehicle. And make sure you do not cross thread anything, and make sure you do torque the specs. You do not want to just leave the plugs loose or over torque them. Anyways, check the gap, check the plug, inspect the plug, put some anti-seize, take your socket, and put the spark plug in. Okay, my hand is kind of tired from turning. So here's the last plug on this side, and same thing, anti-seize, inspect the plug, put on the socket, and put this baby into the board. And I'm gonna use extension over here because I don't have space here. So extension here, and there goes the plug. Now we're gonna torque these babies. Nice and simple and easy. Okay, so I'm gonna torque this last one over here that is hard for you guys to see, then I'll come across. So I got this baby to 10 and a 7 foot-pound, that's 17 foot-pound. So here goes nothing. Oh, it's just nothing. It's barely tight. Okay, it's not a lot, but it is what it is. Let's move on to this next one. I am going to double check this one because I do not want to use extension to torque it. And this is a lot of leverage here, so even though it feels like it's not, but there you go. 17 foot-pounds. Okay, 17 foot-pound. That's it, 17 foot-pound, and we're done there. And I am gonna go I'm gonna double check this one without the extension, that I had an extension in it, and then we're gonna put the coils in. Okay, what we're gonna do next is drop in the coil. So ignition coil, simply you don't have to put any lube or anything on it. You simply just drop them in there. Make sure they're lined right in the center there, like the edge here that goes right here. So this is the little notch here that sits right there, and that's the only way. And you do need to push the crap out of these, so you need to push them. You will feel a snap, okay, and it will just snap right into the spot. And once it grabs the spark plug, so pretty much you take this little guy and put some force on it. You feel that? That's what I did. You feel a snap right into the spark plug. Okay, here goes nothing. There you go. And this one, the last one, is facing towards the front of the engine, just the way the harness is. So right from where I took it off from, same spot. And make sure the harness is out of the way, the connector is out of the way, so when you're pushing, it's not bothering you. And same thing here. Push it down. If you need to use extension, put it on top of the coil and feel that, okay? To close these up, you're not going to see the last one. To close these up, you simply just put this baby right there, and then the connector, once the connector, you see how the connector move with it? It moves with it, snaps right in. That's it. Bada bing, bada boom. This guy, same thing. And that's it. Same thing here. Once the connector grabs it, and it does its job. And I'm going to do the same thing for this one that you're not going to see, but once I get that in, we're all set to go. And do the same thing on the opposite side, and then we're going to put the cover on. Okay, double check all your work, and what I want to do now is, remember this little guy, I'm going to put this on right now, and let's get this baby on. So all the way, so make sure this harness, okay, don't forget this connector that I removed, and make sure this harness is where we want it to be at. And I am not gonna lock up either one of these bolts. So anyways, you do have a MAF sensor over here, so make sure that thing does not catch any dirt or debris. So pretty much, you take this little guy, there's nothing in here, okay? There's nothing that holds this guy. This guy simply just sits there, and you click this guy in, It only sits in one spot, so make sure it sits on the slot here. I'll show you that. Make sure you get this little guy in the bottom to sit properly. And once everything sits the way it is, everything just gonna jam in just the way it's supposed to be. Let's get this harness and let's put this connector in. So pretty much I'm putting this connector in, and that's it. We're gonna close up this tab, and all I need to do is stick this in and put the retainer in, lock them up, both of these bolts, and I am all done. And that's how simple the procedure is. Thank you for watching. See you guys in the next one. Okay guys, we're all done, and here's our spark plug socket. This came with the plug, so it says 14 millimeter, it says CRV on it, and then there's a number here, 7654. And we pretty much use this long little, you can use a flathead screwdriver, but this is the clip removing fork, 3/8 drive ratchet, almost half a foot long extension, and a flathead screwdriver. That's everything we use, and we're all done. We're gonna take this cover to this cover. Okay, just to double check your work, make sure the piping here, the tubing is good. Make sure your airflow sensor is tight. This is connected, both are connected. Make sure these oxygen sensors are rerouted. They will touch the shield and melt the cable. So those are the few things you want to worry about. And once you're done, pretty much this sits right on the top, and you just smack your hand on it. It's gonna grab the grooves, and you're all done. Bada bing, bada boom. We're all set and ready to go. Okay, so we got a firing order, cylinder numbers. So the firing order will be 15486 That's the sequence it fires in to keep the engine balanced. So if you got cylinder, this is the front of the vehicle right here. If you're standing right in front of it, radiator will be right here. So you got cylinder number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's pretty much straightforward right there for you. So if you got cylinder number 1 misfire, is here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pretty simple. Codes would read P0301, 302, 303, 304, 305, 306, 307, 308. That's how simple it is on this BMW. This is the 550i V8 4.8 liter. Anyways, that's how simple that is.